If you look at photography, the format tends to, in many ways, dominate the subject. People say, I want to make it really filmic. So what you do, you sort of crop it top and bottom, and you end up with something like really sort of panoramic. Well, if we're going to do a moving portrait, then we really should have the camera more sort of like that, because that is now upright, and that's what we know as a portrait. So I am now a talking portrait, and it's much more acceptable, because if we do that, you know, this is a documentary. It just needs that little trigger to tell the public what it is that they're looking at. You can't be too far ahead of your public. You have to let them know what you're doing. Let's be creative, right? Let's think outside the box. What about thinking inside the box? Because that's much harder. You take away the boxes on tennis, you haven't got a game. If you're an artist, you're meant to walk around with a sketchbook. I'm crap. I would try it for a bit, but I found it much easier to take a picture, snap. It might be a marking in the road or on the wall, and you think that's interesting, snap. And you find that your eye gets better, and you find that you start taking better photographs. The difference between the sort of younger photographers and the really old, great photographers, there is a wisdom that is built up through years and years and years of trying things out, experiments that have gone wrong, things that have gone right, you know, mistakes that have worked out fantastically well. And it's not to say young guys don't know what they're doing. You can't get experience in, you know, 6 months. There's still a skill there that you have to learn. Where's photography going to go now? I have absolutely no idea. Like this camera we're filming on now, it can do stills, it can do movies. There's a little button at the top to go from taking a stills picture to taking a movie bit. When you turn that dial, you go from photographer, or actually now I'm going to be a director. If you flick through that instruction book, you won't find any directions on how to be a director. If you sat down and you watched YouTube as like one long continuous movie, I think at the moment it's currently running at 25,000 years. Would it be 6 weeks of good stuff before you watch 24,500 years of crap? I mean, in the old days, there was a photographer, there was a director, you know, there was an editor, you have a writer, there was a sound guy, a musician. Now we're just joining everyone together. We're breaking down all the walls, and that's what's happening with photography and direction. You can be everything. Whether that's a good thing or not, I don't know, but it makes it exciting, doesn't it? Where's photography going to go now? I have absolutely no idea.